guys, it's Joe. Happy Wednesday. It's time for Puck It with Joe. We're going to go over the 3 games on the ice. Thanks for waiting an extra hour for me, you guys. I had to hit the passport office this morning. We know how long that takes, and my son won the under on the time left, so I had to take him out for lunch. But I am here, 3 games on the ice today, so I'm excited to go over these games. Hey, Matt, thank you for joining me later in the day for the show today. Each and every one of you, I appreciate you being here so much. Jay and Mike, you as well. So let's make some freaking money on the ice. We're going to kick off by saying congratulations to the Calgary Flames. They've now won us money 2 nights in a row, you guys. So that is exciting to see. I promise you, Markstrom is going to continue to play at this level. I think having that baby really has made that change that we needed. Absolutely better late than never. That is for sure. Yeah, I apologize, you guys. That passport office I just had to get to. So let's go over everything that's happening today on the ice. We've only got 3 games on the ice today. First game, the Minnesota Wild are on the back-to-back. So last night's game versus Calgary versus the Wild, it was intense to say the least. Now, both goalies absolutely stood on their heads. This went into a shootout, scoreless. I really did think Minnesota was going to take it in the shootout, but Jacob Markstrom did stand on his head. Thank God, because we had Calgary with that beautiful plus money. Now, I thought if Calgary was to win it would be in a high-scoring affair. That didn't come in, but Calgary able to get a 1-0 win over the Minnesota Wild. So it was beautiful to see, you guys. Now we're looking at a Wild team that struggles on the back-to-back. They're traveling from home into Winnipeg. Now they had a couple days off, so I'm not worried about them being tired in this one, but the back-to-back, the travel, this was a late game last night. I don't know when they traveled. I think this is Connor Hellebuck's and the Winnipeg Jets game to win here at home. Now they're coming in here, and I just want to see if there's been any movement on the money line here. They're minus 146, so it's stayed solid from this morning. These teams trend so highly to that under when they play against each other, but there's a couple things I'm looking at in this one. I'm going to look at the Wild to really get more shots in this game than we saw out of them last night. I'm looking for them to step up offensively. Now, this is their first game of a 4-game road trip. They're going to want to dig deep to get this win, but we've got the Winnipeg Jets sitting 4th in the Central. They are going to want this win just as much as the Minnesota Wild. I think both teams really dig deep. I just don't like the fact that the Wild are coming off that back-to-back, and that's enough to push me on the Winnipeg Jets in this one. We look at the Wild. They have not played well in Winnipeg either. 3-9 in the last 12 meetings in Winnipeg. And when we look at them matched up, they're 10-4 in the last 14 meetings overall. So they do play Winnipeg strong, but not in Winnipeg. They're 0-4 in their last 4 games playing on 0 days rest. Now, the Winnipeg Jets are not strong off of 1 day's rest. It's the situation they're in as well. They're 0-6 in their last 6 games playing on that 1 day's rest. But I like them here at home. I like them with Connor Hellebuck in goal. So give me the Winnipeg Jets here. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed on that money line. They have lost their last 6 games as a favorite. So you guys, there's not much value on the board today. I was going to say that. Thank you, Courtney, for the shout out for International Women's Day. If you haven't seen all the podcast that Sports Grid put out today, make sure you check it out. I actually start to get emotional talking on that one, so don't judge. I don't get emotional often. If Fleury's in goal, yeah, and Fleury is expected right now, so we don't have confirmation, so check to see before you place that bets. But I do think Fleury has been struggling quite a bit as of late. You missed the parlay on the ice because of the Hurricanes. Oh, damn, that really sucks. I am so sorry that you lost that one. You're the 7th late. The 7th number is lucky for sure. So is the 11th, you guys. So if you haven't hit and it's below 11. Okay, we're going to look at all of these. You got the Coyotes and Calgary. Nice cash on that money. I like big money as well. Okay, so with this game, we've also got a total of 5.5 in you guys, and I'm struggling with the 5.5. I really do think, although these teams trend so highly to that under, we're going to see the Wild absolutely frustrated on that back-to-back. Their offense really has to start finding the back of the net. They're only averaging that 2.78 goals per game. I'm looking for them to really step up in this one. Winnipeg allows around 31 shots on goal per game. Connor Hellebuck, while I think stands on his head, I can't really trust in Marc-Andre Fleury. And the Wild's defense has been shaky on these back-to-backs. So at 5.5, I have to hit it over, which is going against every single trend in the book. But I just can't see this one staying under 5.5. I think this one is a 4-2 style game here for the Winnipeg Jets. The next game on the board, we have the Chicago Blackhawks and the Detroit Red Wings. Now, this is at 7:30 Eastern in this one. With the Blackhawks plus 202 on the money line, minus 250 for the Red Wings, a total sitting at 5.5 in this game as well. Now, Stalick is confirmed in goal for the Chicago Blackhawks, and Hellberg expected here for the Detroit Red Wings. Now we got the Blackhawks rolling in here off a win, and the Detroit Red Wings losing their last 6 games. This is not divisional opponents, but we got the Blackhawks sitting 8th in the Central and 7th in the Atlantic for the Detroit Red Wings. Now the last time these teams played back in October, the Blackhawks got the win 4-3, and now they've dominated this meeting between these two teams. They won their last 8 as an underdog as well versus the Detroit Red Wings. They're 4-1 in their last 5 meetings in Detroit, 12-4 in the last 16 meetings overall. So looking at this doesn't feel trappy to me. I've got to jump on the Chicago Blackhawks here. The underdog's also 4-1 in the last 5. I'm going to sprinkle on that money line at plus 202. Yes, the Red Wings are going to need to break this losing streak. But I think at the very minimum, we have another 4-3 style game. I actually cannot believe this total is so low. Stalick and Hellberg, I cannot have any trust in. We know these offenses can open up, and we've seen them open up in games, able to get these goals. Give me the over 5.5. Give me the Chicago Blackhawks here, sprinkle on the money line, but plus 1.5, I think is the best way to go. It's minus 125 for the Chicago Blackhawks, plus 1.5. I just don't trust the Red Wings enough to get this win today. Let's get it tonight, James. Have so much fun at the casino. Seth Jones, anytime goal around plus 500. David, I absolutely love Seth Jones for that anytime goal. It's definitely worth a sprinkle. Blackhawks, Jay, I'm glad you're on the same page with me. Blackhawks plus the 1.5. Wings all day, Larkin. Anytime goal for sure. Battle of the OGs. Yeah, it's going to be a battle on the ice. I think we see the goals coming in. I think your over is the safest way to go. Look at those goals in this one. I don't think either of these teams lays down. The over is 5-2 in the last 7 meetings. The last game on the board, we got the Anaheim Ducks taking on the Vancouver Canucks. And I guess I'm kind of thinking the underdogs have something to prove tonight. The Anaheim Ducks rolling in here, starting Dostal. Demko in goal for the Vancouver Canucks. And this is my only area of concern here for the Ducks in this matchup. Demko has been playing solid since he got back from injury. He's got a 3.66 goals against average. I'm going to look at his save shots on goal tonight. I do think he goes over his save shots on goal. I was actually shocked at how low this number is. I know the Anaheim Ducks don't get a lot of shots on goal, but Vancouver's still allowing these shots to come in. So when we look at the Anaheim Ducks, they're averaging 2.51 goals per game and averaging 29.2 shots on goal. Looking at Demko here, the save shots at 25.5 is minus 120 to the over. When we look at the Vancouver's defense, they're still allowing a 31.4. I do think the Anaheim Ducks go over their average, hitting around 30, 32 shots on goal, right in that range. Well, I cannot see Demko letting in more than 3 goals to the Anaheim Ducks tonight. Even at 4, we still go over 25.5. At 26 save shots on goal, we can still expect if they get 32 shots on goal, we still go over his save shots on goal. So I love Demko tonight. I think that's my favorite bet of this whole game. He really has come out with something to prove for the Vancouver Canucks. So favorite bet of this game, Demko over 25.5 save shots on goal, minus 120 for that. Now, looking at these teams, I really think this is another game that could be a 4-3 style game, but we know the last time out, Vancouver did blow them out of the water. It was an 8-5 game. If it's an 8-5 game, there's no way the Ducks are getting enough shots on goal, putting up 5 shots on goal for Demko to go over that save shots. I don't think they let in as many goals in this one. That was back in November. And I'm 99% sure Demko was not in net for that game. I forgot to look that up. It was something that I had planned. So if you guys want to look it up, let me know. But I do think this is one where the Ducks get some goals. I think you're kind of safer, though, looking at the Vancouver Canucks' ability to get these goals than you are with the Ducks. The Vancouver Canucks over 3.5, it's juicy at -150. So it's kind of parlay material for me here. Dostal confirmed in goal for them. He has a 4.00 goals against average. We know the Anaheim Ducks defensively are allowing that 4.03 and 39.4 shots on goal. So I don't see Dostal having a big day. He isn't 100% confirmed, so I can't get his safe shots on goal for you here. That is estimated, but I do think Vancouver will do enough to go over 3.5 goals in this game. I think they do come out strong. I think the Ducks can have a chance, though, but Demko, again, that determining factor on if the Ducks actually get this win here. I do think the over 6.5 is really strong in play here. 4-1 in the last 5 meetings in Vancouver to that over. And the Ducks 3-0-1 in their last 4 versus the Western Conference to the over, and the Canucks with taking on teams with winning records below 400, not above 400. They are 18-6-2 to that over. So give me the over 6.5. Give me Vancouver's team total over 3.5, and give me Demko save shots on goal over 25 and a half. I keep like stopping every time I go to say that number because it seems a little low. So you guys, that's where I'm going with that. The Canucks for tonight. Let's go Demko. Yeah, I think the Canucks end up getting the win at the end of the day. You're going to take the Canucks on the puck line. Great plus money for you. It's not plus money because they're -230. Canucks on the puck line are coming in at you guys. I didn't write it down because I wasn't in love with it. Canucks on the puck line are -105. So it's not bad value. You look at them on the puck line at home, though, and that's what threw me because the Ducks are strong on that puck line. They're about even on that puck line on the road, where you've got the Canucks 13 and 18, but that was through their huge slump that they had. So I don't hate it at all. Both teams play inconsistently. Absolutely money on the Canucks. Yeah, come on, you guys. I need more than 9 likes. Hit that like button, Dave. Thank you. Thank you, Becky, for joining me here today. Both teams to score a Wings and Hawks in the first period. David, I love it. Both teams to score in that first period definitely is a strong way to go in this one, especially at that plus money. I like the over 1.5 in this game as well, and let's just see the value on it. But that both teams to score, it actually, David, wasn't something that I looked up before this. The over 1.5 is at -144, so I do like that as well. If you're looking at any of these games to go to overtime tonight, I would look at the Wild and the Winnipeg Jets to go to overtime. I kind of think the Blackhawks and the Detroit Red Wings could go to overtime too. We've seen the Blackhawks push teams to overtime. I don't think Vancouver and the Ducks go to overtime, but I really do think there is a solid chance of those other two. So I'm just trying to bring up the odds for both of those teams to go to OT tonight. So Winnipeg and Minnesota to go to overtime +320. Remember, these teams all fighting for points. Neither of these teams want this game to go to overtime because this is a battle here. Divisional opponents in the Central. But if they go to overtime, the loser will get the loser point, 1 point. The winner will get 2 points. So +320 for the Minnesota Wild and the Winnipeg Jets to go to overtime. And the Blackhawks and the Red Wings. I don't know why, you guys. I'm really feeling this one could go to overtime. This one to go overtime is +380. So that's what I'm liking, you guys. Short, easy day. You guys have hit that like button. I appreciate it. It is probably worth a shot with both teams to score. It probably is. I don't hate it at all. At that plus money, we know both of these teams are struggling. Both of these teams wanting to find at the back of the net. We've got 2 weak goalies in goal. Demko, though, I think is stronger. But we see that with a goalie that is stronger, like the stronger of these two. We see it, even like in the Edmonton and the Buffalo game the other night. When these goals are going to come in, they're going to come in hard and fast, and then things kind of slow down Defenses get their feet under them. The goaltending gets their feet under them. Offenses have the advantage as soon as they hit that ice, in my opinion anyway. I don't see the defenses having the advantage. So taking both teams to score when you really do feel like a game is going to go over and both teams can score in that game, I think it absolutely screams value. So if I was going to build a parlay tonight, which you guys, I really don't love anything to build a parlay here because I think there's so many variables in this game. But I think you could look at Vancouver's team total over 3.5. And then I would look at the Chicago Blackhawks plus 1.5 on that puck line. And then I'd look at the Winnipeg Jets to get the win. So there's the parlay, Winnipeg Jets on the money line, Blackhawks on the puck line. And you guys know since I built it just now that I'm putting this in. And we're going to take Vancouver team total over 3.5. But I do think this is a good night on the ice. I think my favorite bet tonight is the Wild and the Jets to go to OT at plus, what did we say, plus 320. This is a bet that I'm going to get in right after this show, is the Wild and the Jets to go to overtime. I do also like the Blackhawks and Detroit. I just got a weird feeling about this game as my pen completely dies on me here, you guys. I know what I want for Christmas. It's pens, but I'm not even going to make it to Christmas. So I know what I have to go to the store and buy. Oh, that one is dead too. So it's going to be the Blackhawks and a pen that works. The Blackhawks and Detroit, I'm going to sprinkle on them to go to OT at plus 380. I like it. You guys don't bet a lot on these games to go to OT, but I think both of those ones are worth a sprinkle. And you know I'm going to parlay those two together. The Jets and the Wild to go to OT, the Blackhawks and the Detroit Red Wings to go to overtime. I am live on a Sports Grid Twitter Spaces tonight. That will be at 6 o'clock Eastern tonight. And don't miss my Puck It Up with Sam and Joe on Better Than Vegas and Betfred Sportsbook. That will be coming out. We record it, you guys, so it's supposed to go out at 6:15 Eastern every day. So make sure you check that out. Jets first period on the puck line. Yeah, I think the Jets are going to come out nice and strong. We got to look at the Minnesota Wild, and they are off that back-to-back. They've traveled. They're going to make mistakes in that first period, Michael. So I do like the Jets in the first period on that puck line. Now, the Jets in the first period on that puck line, let me just look at the value you're getting there. But I do think it is a solid way to go in that one. I do think that whole game, though, stays to a game that could go to overtime. So total goals in the first period, under 1.5 is at minus 122. I could see it being a 1-0, making us kind of worried about that over in this game, ending that first period. But we got to remember the Wild's offense is going to come out, and they're going to be mad about what they saw in their last game. It's actually really interesting. This is the first time I've seen on FanDuel you can just bet one team's over in the first period, which I have not seen before. So new way to bet these games. First period, the Winnipeg Jets total goals over half a goal is coming in at minus 158. So we're not getting the value there. But if I look at the Winnipeg Jets on that puck line for you, first period on the puck line, minus a half a goal is plus 170. And how can we not take it with that value there? I do think Winnipeg has the upper hand coming in. So that's the problem. Winnipeg, off of that rest, does have a little bit of struggles. They haven't won their last 6 coming in off 1 day's rest. But I think they will be the stronger team coming out of the gate when Minnesota played later last night. That was a late game there. Blackhawks plus 1.5, Ducks Canucks over 6.5, and Jets Wild under 5.5. John, the only one I'm scared at is the Jets and the Wild under 5.5. I wish you all the best. I really hope it cashes for you. You're on the dogs tonight on the money line. I wish you all the best. I really hope all the dogs hit for you on that money line. That would be beautiful to see. If you're taking all the dogs on the money line, make sure you sprinkle even $2, all 3 of those dogs parlayed together, even $2. It would be amazing to see because we've seen weirder things happen. Okay, I'm so glad you will be there, Mike. And your Colorado shots on goal hit. Absolutely awesome. You guys, I have to run. Tomorrow we will be here at 3:30 Eastern, the normal time. I apologize for being late again. 2 days in a row. I couldn't help it yesterday recording with Sports Grid. Make sure you check out that show that came out. It's with myself, Taylor Mathis, and Nor. I cannot remember her last name. My apologies, Nor. Talking with the guys of Sports Grid about the different things that women face in this industry. It's an International Women's Day episode. So it was a lot of fun. Check it out. But I will be in the Twitter spaces for Sports Grid tonight, 6 o'clock Eastern. Join me also on the Better Than Vegas show, Puck It Up with Sam and Joe. That will be coming out later. You guys have a good day. Keep smiling. See you tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern. Bye, guys.